Hey guys, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Today is Monday, September 28th, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about the struggles and how to handle with the struggles of entrepreneurship. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you guys are enjoying me going live. I know it's probably posting on everybody's feed, but want to make sure you guys get this valuable information. I also want to thank everybody who joined us this last Friday for my son's first episode of Kid Leadership, and it was a blast. He had a really good time and learning a little bit of his own struggles of his entrepreneurial journey. So let's go ahead and get started with today's show coming up next. All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the struggles of entrepreneurship. And these are just a few that I could come up with. There are literally countless struggles as being a business owner in entrepreneurship, or even being a solopreneur. It can be really scary, and there's a lot of different struggles that we deal with every single day. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about those. The first one is about abandoning your career. Now, a lot of entrepreneurs, they usually spend a lot of time in a specific career that helps them build skills. And sometimes that can be either working with a small company or a very big company. But regardless, it can be very scary when you are making that leap. Some people will actually maybe even buy a business first that is already thriving, or maybe even struggling, but is already known and doing something similar to what they want to do. And so that can be another thing. But abandoning your career can be very scary, and making it on your own is actually very difficult. And being by yourself and relying on yourself only for a paycheck is probably one of the scariest things that entrepreneurs can face. And so you want to make sure that you have the skills available. A lot of times organizations will provide those skills for you. Go ahead and turn that down. I didn't realize that was still up. Okay. So a lot of those organizations provide those skills for you in maybe sales or marketing or whatever business that you're in. But now, depending on yourself, can be quite scary. I've always thought, though, that it was a little bit more scary relying on someone else for your paycheck. And relying on someone else for your paycheck is scary in itself, just because, if you can see changes that the organization needs to make, you're not necessarily always the decision maker. And so now that you are an entrepreneur, you can move your own ship, for example, much faster, and you can pivot much harder in your own business rather than running somebody else's business. And so that's number one, is abandoning your career. Number two is investing in your business, your brand, and yourself. It can be quite a bit of a struggle because you have a number of people and organizations always trying to sell you on how they can help your organization. And a lot of them do a really good job of helping entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and business owners get what they need. Things like Google ads, Facebook ads, marketing in general, sales coaching, anything like that. You have to invest a little bit in yourself. A lot of entrepreneurs who are starting out try to restrict themselves. They try to pull themselves back and try to make everything that they do and everything that they get for free. Hey, how can I get this for free? How can I get, X or Y for free? And that can be good in trying to keep down costs, but you also have to understand that you get what you pay for. And you can have a whole bunch of different tools available to you for free, but none of them are actually going to do anything for you unless you have some kind of skin in the game. And you want to be able to have that investment within your business or within yourself to where you take it a little bit more seriously. When you become an entrepreneur, you have to realize also that you are going to be every aspect of your business. When I first started my own business, I had to realize, I had to be a website builder. I had to be a great salesman, a great marketer, all of these other little things that I never really had to be before, but wanted to to be out on my own and branch out and maybe even do a couple side hustles while I was working for somebody else. That's a great way to get started. But a lot of times you actually do need a little bit of help from organizations who can do something better than you can. You know, if someone can be a better website builder than you are, let them give you that leg up, but they need to be paid for their time, for their efforts, for their talents. And so it's something that you're going to want to invest in, and that will actually help you get there a lot further, a lot faster. You could take courses on how to, build websites or how to market, how to do Google Ads and things like that, but it will take you much longer than you probably could if you just hired out somebody to do it and eventually learn that on your own once your business is beginning to thrive. Okay, so let's take a look at, so for example, I hired a bookkeeper, right? I am really good at building websites and sales training and things like that, but I hate doing accounting. I hated accounting in my degree program at college. I hated doing it by hand. I hated it doing it with software like QuickBooks or anything like that. So I actually hired somebody to help me with that. And it's been great because I'm not only just paying for accounting, I'm paying for a peace of mind because this person that I hired is very good at accounting. She knows my field. She knows the software I use for my accounting. And so I can rest easy knowing that when I get sales or expenses or anything like that, that they are going to be balanced and good and everything's good to go. So I'm not just paying for a service, I'm also paying for a peace of mind so I can focus on what I do better. Okay, so the next one is being the visionary and dealing with the unknown. It can be a huge struggle not knowing exactly what's going to be going to happen. And the economy always seems to be in some kind of major flux. And so people sometimes hold back starting their own business because they're a little afraid of how the market's going to react. But the market is always going to be reacting to something. And so you have to be the visionary. You have to be the one that goes out and deals with the unknown. It's almost like a game of chess. You know, you don't know exactly what your opponent is going to be doing, but you have to take those risks and you have to be able to be willing to fail in aspects of your business, but also because, you know, you're going to have that much more to succeed with. So think about that as far as dealing with the unknown. Something that I always do, and this is how to kind of deal with the unknown, is that I write down my goals twice a day. You have to write down your goals every single day. Even twice a day is what I would recommend, just because you write them as if you've already accomplished your goals, right? What do you look like when you have achieved X amount of sales, or when you have achieved, you know, whatever you're wanting to achieve, the main goal? What is it? What do you look like? Do you look happy? Do you look satisfied? And then think about the kind of things that you had to overcome to get there. And having that positive mindset rather than a negative mindset helps you think about overcoming things that may have looked impossible if you were thinking negatively. Thinking positive, though, and writing down those goals helps you become remotivated in your business and accomplishing your goals, but it also gets you out of this negative this negative mindset and this retracting mindset of, oh no, woe is me, I'm a victim. You know, you got to get out of that mentality and push forward and constantly remember of why you're trying to accomplish your goals and what those goals are and how you are going to accomplish them. Okay. So now this next one, I actually never really thought about when I first started my business. It's something I've struggled with until I figured out how to deal with it. But the next obstacle was loneliness. Entrepreneurship is a very lonely endeavor, and it can be something that a lot of people don't realize is a very lonely endeavor. So you have to be prepared for that and understand why it is a lonely endeavor. I found that when I started my business, my family and my friends that are not entrepreneurs, who are not business owners, they didn't really care that I started a business. They didn't like my posts. They didn't share my videos. They didn't do anything like that. And at first I was kind of upset. Hey, I've been friends with these people for decades. How come they're not no longer sharing my stuff? How come they're not trying to help support me in my business? And once I realized, people actually only like and share and support things that they can relate to. And if they have not owned their own business, if they have not struggled through the things that you struggled with, they can't relate. They're not going to like, they're not going to share. They don't understand what you're going through. And so that helped me, not be upset anymore with my friends, that they didn't support my business, but because they don't understand what that's really like. So one thing that I actually had to do to fight that loneliness was to actually go out and find a group of people who are business owners. I actually would meet with groups of people who run their own business and who have that same drive and hustle that I had. And so it was actually very helpful because, I could still be great friends with my friends I've been friends with for decades and hang out and do all the things that we've always normally done. But then when I needed that support and that group of people to actually hang out with, then I was able to find that support that I really truly needed. And so sometimes though you can't find those people, and sometimes it can be very hard. So you just create one. Create a way for people who are like-minded like you to come and gather. And it can be a little bit difficult now with how the economy is and how the country is, either restrictive or not on social gatherings. And so creating a group on social media, things like Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, are a great way to help share resources, share ideas. And if you are struggling in finding those people, I have my own Facebook group here. If you go to mikeglover.co/Facebook group, you can actually join my group for free. It is a private group, but videos like this get shared live within the group. I'm trying to help people kind of get ideas on what they can do for leadership and for technology and what they can do to help their thriving businesses. And so that's kind of the bigger thing, is also trying to get known. And that's the next obstacle, is getting known. And this is something that every business struggles with, right? Every business, brand, entrepreneur, solopreneur, everything, they all struggle with obscurity. And that is the number one reason why businesses fail. I've actually made videos on obscurity and some of the troubles that organizations actually have because they're not doing enough to get known, right? They're not doing enough also, once people know who you are as a business or as an entrepreneur or as a brand, how do they become to trust you, right? When do you become important enough, or the offer or services that you're doing become important enough for them to even remember you, right? And so that can be something that can be really difficult. Is there's a lot of noise out on the internet, and you have got to rise above and be different, niche down in what you do, and make it so that people absolutely have to know who you are and that they do business with you. And you have to be acting in such a way, and you have to have that kind of confidence in your product or service that you are doing a disservice to these people that they do not know you. And by knowing you and by trusting you and by following you on social media or whatever, they are actually better off. And you have to be convinced of your own service and provide enough value to your clients so that that is something that that they see you all the time. Okay, so how do you do that, right? You have to build an online presence. You have to be able to be in front of people all the time. Build a social media presence is number one, and then having a website, number two, having a place where people can go to gather all the information they need about you. Videos like this, they may be on YouTube and Facebook and Facebook groups and LinkedIn and all that kind of stuff, but they also need to be on my website and have a collection of things so that they can understand and follow through on a number of different media that I put out there. That helps build trust with them, with the information that I share, and so that they know who I am and they can kind of get used to my voice, my presence, my ugly face. I don't know. But it helps them with building that trust. They're more able to deal with me when whenever we talk and things like that. So that is something to consider. Now, if you are not very good at building websites and building your social media, right, I invite you to actually go to my website, myglover.co/presence, where I actually show how that can be done, but also set it up all for you. It's something that, that peace of mind I was talking about earlier. Having a peace of mind that your website is built the way it should be built. Is it compliant with GDRP and CCPA? And does it have the security that it needs? Can you take online payments? All that kind of stuff to help your customers deal with you in the easiest manner possible. Because if they, know who you are and they trust you, but it's hard to work with you, they'll also drop off. And I have a video later this week that's actually going to go over how to take online payments. So if you actually want to watch that, go to myglover.co/YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and be sure not to miss out on that video as well. I'm going to show you exactly why you need to take online payments and the like. So if you guys have any kind of questions whatsoever, make sure to schedule a call with me. Leave comments in the comments and questions in the comment sections below. You can also go to myglover.co/discover and schedule a free 30-minute conversation with me, and we can talk a little bit about your needs, what you're struggling with, and how I can help you set that up for you. Now, if you also want to see more videos, of course, myglover.co/show. You'll be able to subscribe to the podcast, watch the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, everything like that. Thank you guys so much for watching today. Don't forget to subscribe and be sure to hit that bell so that you know exactly when I go live again. I'll be going live again tomorrow for our Charitable Secrets program and talking about how to build a lifetime income while still giving to charity. And that is something that people don't realize that you can do. You give to charity and have the charity pay you back for the rest of your life. That's pretty cool. And I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow. And then throughout the rest of this week, we also have Kid Leadership coming up and more about taking online payments and so forth. Thank you so much for watching today. Again, questions, comments, let me know, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks, guys.